actually knows that for the past 5 years, this person, you may even actually see 50% or 50% of marriages divorce. Where if you are sitting two couples, this couple and this couple, one of you will divorce. That's how serious it is. Go for a marriage seminar. Just know that half will not come to the future marriage seminar. Or they will come with a different person. So it has gotten that bad. And actually, between the day of marriage, the wedding day, and 5 years, the first 5 years, they are the ones that for many are much worse. Many marriages these days, they end before 5 years. If yours survives 5, you may smile. But the next statistic says not many go over 15 years old. Like not many people celebrate 15th anniversary in marriage. If you celebrate it, I just know that. Taoloka, taoloka. Yeah. Are you there? So you better listen and listen very well. So I told you that we're going to look at, and I've got a lot of questions that I have to answer. Last week I didn't finish answering them. Today I read them in the morning. Oh boy, beautiful questions. Some funny, some touching. So I want to preach so that I can make sure I answer all the questions. Okay. I'm still going to answer all of them. So I'll make sure I finish preaching by around 4:15. Then I start answering questions. Is that fine? Okay, let's rush. So I said that I'm going to give you 6 causes of conflict and their respective solutions, isn't it? And I managed to give you what? 4. Yes, I think I managed to give you 4. I said that the first one is what? Natural causes. It simply means that 2 people are different. 2 people are unique. You were not born together with the person that you now call hubby, you now call wife. You grew up in different families, different schools, you have got different exposures, you have read different books, and all of that. You have got different funny uncles. Yeah, because, the more funny uncles you have, the more complex you become. Funny uncles and funny aunties. Those that come home and teach you more than what your parents have ever taught you. And that 1 hour they spend with you. Oh. So those are natural causes. But even if you came from a very good family, still the family you are in and the family the other person is in are still different, isn't it? And then, as I also said, there are things that you have never done. You have never gotten married. Okay, so you have never gotten married, and you're starting. You have never slept with someone. It's your first day. Why should someone accuse you of not doing it well? No, you learn. You have never had a baby. Why should someone tell you that you are acting too much? Many women are pregnant. Yes, tell them, yes, many women have been pregnant, but have never been pregnant. So there are things you are learning. You have never had children. So you are learning. Are you there? So during that, it might bring some levels of conflict. So you must still know how to handle them. Then the second cause of conflict we said is selfishness. And this one is one major one. And I said selfishness has got many dimensions. There is outright selfishness that you can actually point at and say, this is selfishness. But there's also many selfishnesses that you cannot easily identify. It's just simply someone insisting that things always go their way. Now, it makes it even worse when their way is the correct way. But you know that even if 2 people are journeying together and your way is always the correct way. Yes, it's always the correct way. But teamwork, you can't say in football. You say that you 5 players, you are not as good. So for the rest of this game and the whole of the cup, we will not be passing you. the balls. Just imagine. So it's a team of 11 players, and 5 are not good. So the ones that end up playing 11 minus 5, 6. So 6 end up playing, just passing each other, and they say those 5 are not good. You think those 5 will feel good? The same way, you can't just be the right one. Sometimes even if you are the one that knows, just sometimes for peace sake, just act like you are the one that is in the wrong. For example, you husbands that know how to cook better than your wife, you can't continue to educate your wife. She cooks and say, I know, mixture. How many eggs did you put? You're probably, the way this feels, this is 2 eggs. You are supposed to put 3. How many eggs? Says 2. Says C. Tomorrow, I say, this simmer. You put in the flour very early. The water didn't boil. Another day comes, the water boiled too much. Another day, sometimes just eat that in simmer and love it. You even say, I feel a lot of raisins. You put some raisins in simmer. Now, you see, those that don't know raisins, they didn't catch the joke. Improve your English. Okay. So, mibulu, isn't it? That's what I'm referring to. Yes. So, you just pretend that you like it. Are you following? So, selfishness is when you insist on that things go your way. And I told you, it's a choice. It's a choice. You can say that it's supposed to go this way, but I decide not to insist on my preference, on my choice. Let your wife win. Let your husband win. It's fine. And I said, it's foolishness to always win. It's a great foolishness. Foolishness at professor level. Yeah, where every time you want to win, the next person is always wrong. But you know that it might really be that the other person is wrong. But because you are a team, the more you make it look that this one is wrong, what happens to that person's self-esteem? It begins to reduce, it begins to dwindle. They will no longer feel confident about themselves. Whatever they want to do, they'll think about it and they'll say, probably this is also wrong. And when they do it, they'll really do it the wrong way. So selfishness is not good. And so I even told you about, I gave you different examples of selfishness. Then we went to temporary challenges or temporary crises that sometimes happen in family. And we said that the one that often causes a lot of trouble is finances, isn't it? Finances have caused many marriages to break. Not that the lady was in the marriage because of money, because that's a mistake that sometimes men make. They think that, so all you wanted, all you loved is the money. You didn't love me. You loved my money. She loved you. But the money is another totally different thing. If you don't handle it well, it causes a lot of issues. Situations where the wife ends up making money and the husband is temporarily at home. There are situations that have caused many to begin to quarrel, sometimes separate, sometimes part ways. So ladies, if you make more money than your husband, it is fine. Are you there? It is fine. Don't make a big show out of it. And also, what I've noticed about men, some men, once their wife or once their fiancé makes more money, it's also just a lack of self-esteem now. So everywhere, even where there's no problem, they find a problem. We are supposed to meet at 2. The lady arrives at 2:15. You see, it is because you make more money. It is because where we are going, you are the one to pay. It is because we are going by your car. You see, I will not go. Anything that happens in the house, something happens in the house, you do something wrong, and your wife is telling you, no, my husband, this is wrong. You see, because you have got money, at first you used to listen. At first, she may have been observing the teacher to know if this is a good teacher or a bad teacher. Because sometimes quietness doesn't mean you are in agreement, isn't it? Sometimes wives are observing and say, maybe he knows what he's doing. Maybe this guy, as he's going on top of the roof, maybe. So they are watching you and they are keeping quiet. You think that they are agreeing with you. And you are going up the roof. And you're saying, my wife, I will now jump. So the wife is still looking at you, observing to see what will happen. You're saying, this jacket, in science, all the air will be gathered here. And then, I will float and glide in the air. And your wife is watching you. Then the wife says, bah! You have fallen. And you can't pick up yourself. She has to come and pick you up. Next day, she will do it with hesitation. By the time you fall down 5 times, next time before you start off, you have to discuss. I'm going up. Sit here. Where are you going? Why? Because it's not that now she has become rude. She has just known the character of a man you are. Ladies who generally give their husband the opportunity to drive the car as they are relaxing here, doing makeups if they didn't finish. But if your wife starts, it is me to drive the car, just know you have proved yourself a bad driver. Go back to the driving school. Humble yourself. It means that your driving is making her uncomfortable. It has got nothing to do with you make more money. You make more money. Are you listening, you men? Because men make a big fuss out of, you are speaking like this because you make more money. No, get the points. The next one we looked at was what? Small things not properly resolved, isn't it? So, as I said, conflict doesn't arise. Conflict doesn't arise just because one has made the first mistake. And then there's conflict. No, usually not so. Conflict arises out of someone consistently or periodically making the very same mistake. So the other person's patience is now being tested. And it's going to come to a day that the other one will blow up. That's what happens. And it makes it even worse when you defend yourself, you become unapologetic. You have made a mistake. You can't say sorry. I have admitted. Yes, you have admitted. May your admission be followed by a sorry. Not It's not bad to say sorry. It doesn't make you worse than you already are. It does not eat any meat out of you. It is not a bulldog that you say, sorry, meat out of you. No. You say sorry, you are still the same way you were. Are you there? So, as I said, if conflicts are not properly handled, they become what I said, little foxes. If conflicts are not handled and they just keep on building, it acts like a pregnancy, keeps building. And then firstborn name, hurt. Secondborn, anger. Thirdborn, quarreling. Thirdborn. So you keep having like that, and you may have as many children, including until the last born becomes what? Personal attacks. Where now something happens, it has got nothing to do with what has happened. It has got everything to do with, look at the shape of your head. People, your shape like this, is there room for brain tissue there? Because your brain is so small, God couldn't manage to put in a lot of tissue. And we can even see from your small head, most of it is bone. So you have now left the issue. The thing is now this person. That's why clothes don't even fit you. Look at you. That's why clothes don't even fit you. Your smile is just opening the mouth. And there's coronavirus. You see, these are now personal attacks. You don't even look at the story. You are attacking the personality of someone. You see? But these things, they don't just start. They start when things are not resolved. So they keep what? Building. And you remember I told you that no matter how good you are, still improve on the areas that you're not good at. Never do it as a comparison of, I have got more good than bad. So say, no, but I'm generally a good guy. And you know that many ladies have been wanting me. That's bad. I have never told you a secret. A mystery do I share with thee now. Before thee, I had 50 applications, and yours was the weakest one. But I said, anyways, I choose you. So don't act like that. Once you leave me, others will come get me. No, that's not good speaking. Are you there? So I was saying that where there is something that you're doing wrong, don't defend it by the many things that you're doing right. Like many men would say, no, but I make the money here. I am working hard and making money. Do you, Mrs. Wife, do you know the pressures of making money? The wife says, then sit down. When we go to make money, we come out angry birds. The audience I'm speaking to, you're not catching the jokes. Even this one, you haven't. You know what? Just write them down somewhere. Go Google them afterwards. So we come out as, I said angry birds. That's where the joke is. I said, you said, so we come out angry. So when we come home, stresses of work, as people call it. These are stresses of work. Some that go to Tanzania, to South Africa, wives say, come back. They say, your husband, you don't know what we have been through at the borders. We became 4 times fatter than we are. We wore a jacket and we put things there. Sugar, 2 bales of sugar. Phones, 100 phones were hidden in the socks. Even needle. I put it here in my bra, a whole tin of needle. And this, so your husband, do you know what we go through? Now, you see, when you speak like that, you don't get what someone is complaining about. You know that? You see, the best way of not hearing what someone is saying is when you become defensive. Someone is speaking, you're already looking for answers. Or even before they finish, you say, but I'm coming from work. Can I sleep? And your friend is talking. So don't let issues to be piling up. Resolve them. And I gave you the example of the lemon, isn't it? I said the lemon is 70% sugar, but it has got 3 to 6% citric acid. And just because of that little acid makes the lemon taste sour. Versus the strawberry that has got about 40% sugar, but the strawberry is much sweeter than the lemon. Why? Because it doesn't have citric acid. There are some people that when you look at, maybe you are better than them. But the thing is, you have got citric acid, which they don't have. May I know some men, very unromantic men. Yeah. I know some men, very unromantic. They never have jokes for their wives. It's just a gloomy, doomy family. No joke, no surprises, nothing. Nothing is exciting in the house. But, even though they have got that 15% level of sugar, no citric acid, family goes 1 year, 10 years, 50, 70, growing old together. You know, I know some men that have ever been at certain weddings. Once you see this, there's often trouble in the house. Have you seen men that say, the husband that says, yes, I'm supposed to speak, but I don't have anything to say. My wife will speak on my behalf. And gives the mic to the wife. The wife speaks. And the husband just says, I agree with all that has been said. But many times, you look at these guys, they have been married 60 years. Some of you, sugar guys, you know how to buy gifts for your wife. You know how to, sometimes you have become so sweet that sometimes you even enter through the window. You enter through the window like a ninja. Then you come behind your wife. The wife can't see. You carry her. Your wife has a nice time. Your wife loves it. In the car, as the car is moving, you're always seeing jokes. Your wife is always laughing. Your wife is always happy. Nice guy, fine guy. But citric acid. You are not only sweet to this one, you are sweet to many others. So because of that citric acid, is what makes you, that's what ends up making you a bad guy. And you keep justifying yourself. But I'm not like that one. Look at that one, how boring. That one is a boring guy, but he knocks off from work, gets home, is there, puts on the radio, MBC One. The wife also comes here. Hubby! Hubby, I love you, I missed you. Boring man. But what harm can come from listening to MBC One? See to MBC One. Every day, nice guy. When the wife is tired, he volunteers. You want a cup of water? Okay.